Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I'm actually here with a really interesting phone today, and this is the UMIDIGI Bison GT. So this right here is kind of their take on not only a gaming phone, but also a rugged phone. It's got the MediaTek G95 processor in it, so it's got a little bit of power. It's about comparable with the Snapdragon 730G, but with a much higher clock GPU and faster memory. So it kind of offsets some of the speed with much more performance in the video for the GPU. 4 cameras set up on the back with a 64 megapixel primary sensor, 5,000 milliamp battery, IP68 dust and water resistant, built-in MIL-STD drop protection because it's got a rugged case built into the phone, and also IP69K. So it's got pretty much everything you could ask for as far as a rugged phone, and also you can still do pretty much whatever you want with it and play some games. And we're going to take a look at this. But before we do, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's take a look at the Bison GT. So one thing I want to get out of the way real quick, this was sent out to me by UMIDIGI to check out, but also they're running a promotion right now because it's like their 11th anniversary. They have like a sale thing going on. So there's a link down in the drop down that should be good for like 24 or 36 hours, I think, after this video launches, but also it goes to the AliExpress website. However, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not being compensated for this. I'm not a salesman. They're not getting to see this before you are. But they sent it out because they're running a promotion. So I said, sure, I'll take a look at it and I'll drop the link down there. Hey, take a look at the phone. Pretty neat. So 64 megapixel camera, 16 megapixel wide angle. It's got a 5 megapixel depth sensor and a 5 megapixel macro lens. So you've got pretty much everything you could want there. It's got the microphone set up here on the back. It's also got expandable SD card storage. So it's got primary 128 gigs of storage, 8 gigs of RAM, which I think is pretty good, LDDR4, and it's clocked about 2100 megahertz. So it is significantly faster than the typical RAM that you get with like the Snapdragon 730 and some of the other phones that run that. Headphone jack, also nice. Bluetooth 5.0. This is really interesting right here. So you can actually remove the SIM card with just your fingers. You don't need a SIM ejector tool, and I thought that was interesting. I was doing the unboxing stuff, and I was like, hey, where's the SIM ejector tool at? And voila, you can take it out with just your thumb or whatever. It's really neat. The way that this case is made, it's built into the phone. So it reminds me a lot of like the old Samsung Galaxy Active series where it's like protective case and phone built into one. And it's got these little rivet looking things on the side. I mean, it's really built like a tank. This thing is also, you can drop it underwater, IP68 dust and water resistance. So MediaTek G95, it's pushing a 1080p Full HD Plus resolution on this 6.67 inch display. It's an LCD panel, and it's got a fingerprint sensor, but it's kind of in a weird spot. It's over here on the right-hand side, so you actually use whatever finger wraps around to this side of the phone to unlock it that way. So I thought that that was really interesting. There are other things on here, like customizable buttons. There's 2 special buttons on here. If you remember the old Nextel days and the push-to-talk stuff that you could do, this has a push-to-talk button over here. So if you use like Tello or certain other apps, it has the push-to-talk functionality built into it, straight in the phone. You just push the button and you can talk. I think that's really cool. And then there's another smart customizable smart key over here on the bottom right hand side. This works for a couple different features. Also, you do like a short press or a long press and you can do stuff for app specific tasks. One important thing you can do with it, take underwater photos. So you get the IP68 dust and water resistance. You can take this underwater. Maybe, or maybe you don't know this, when you go underwater, if you try and touch the screen, it does not register your fingerprint, so you can't take pictures that way. You have to set a timer. Well, this way, when you're underwater, you just push the button and it will take the picture or start the video. So that's very nice there. You got the teardrop cut out there for the selfie camera on the front, which takes decent pictures. And then you've got, again, this 6.67 inch display on the front. Talked about gaming. This can play some games. It's not like when you think of it like Asus Republic of Gaming phone, but this is like a $350 phone. Right now they got it on special for about $243, and then if you get the extra coupon from the AliExpress website or even through the UMIDIGI website, you get it for like $236. So it's pretty cheap. They've got a significant drop on the price right now, which is part of their 11th anniversary thing, which is one of the reasons why they sent this out to me. The phone just came out recently, so I was like, yeah, I'll take a look at it, and I'll tell people if they're interested in buying it. That's, go ahead and take a look at it. I'm not saying go buy one. I'm just letting you know that it's there. One speaker setup on the back. It's kind of weird. It's right down here on the back. It's got a little opening. The speaker's pretty powerful. It actually sounds pretty good, surprisingly, for one speaker. And then when you hold the phone, it'll kind of bounce off your hand and radiate back around to the front, or mostly it kind of transmits out towards the back. Some phones used to do that a lot more often. You don't really see it much in the American market, but the one speaker setup, it does work. And of course, to make this thing like the IP68 dust and water resistance built into the case with the phone, maybe that's what they had to do instead of putting baffles in there, or certain ways like they did it with like other more modern smartphones that got the IP68. It's got this neat little lanyard thing right here, so you can actually attach like a lanyard loop or a strap on there. And then it's got liquid cooling 2.0 in it as well to help keep the heat down when you're playing games. I did test out a couple of games. You can play PUBG, you can play League of Legends on here, you can play Genshin Impact, but you got to play it on. It actually defaults to medium settings. You want to take those down to low for better experience. As far as gaming, you can play Call of Duty Mobile, you can play World of Warships, you can play World of Tanks. There's a lot of stuff you can play. The hardest things really though are Fortnite and also Genshin Impact. Those are very, very demanding games, and even if you were using the Snapdragon 730 counterpart, 730G, it would struggle just as well. But you're going to get about 30-40 frames per second on most games, up to over 50 frames per second on World of Tanks. So I think that that's pretty exceptional in that department. But with 8 gigs of RAM, running Android 10 straight out of the box, I mean, it's not Android 11. Hopefully they'll get an update on that. I don't have the information as far as when there will be software updates, but it does have Android 10. And yeah, it's got a lot of different neat stuff on here. I think that it's kind of novel. I've never really experienced something like this. It's weird. I mean, it's cool that it has the push to talk button. I don't really use that feature, but if you do, or if you want to, that's really cool. And the only thing that really irks me though when using this phone is I always hit this button, the smart button down on the bottom right. I appreciate it from this perspective to like take pictures, or if you're holding the phone like this, you don't really hit it. But as soon as you grab it like this, by default, if you hit it, it opens the camera. If you hold it down, it turns on the flashlight. I can't tell you how many times when I was playing with this over the last 2 days, how many times I activated the camera and the flashlight. Go into the settings and disable that, because you're going to activate it all the time. I didn't find a way to deactivate the push to talk button, but if you don't ever associate any apps with it, it doesn't really give you too much of a hard time. It just gives you a little pop-up down there, tells you to set it up. So you've got that going on for you. Fingerprint sensor over here. It's interesting. It's weird not having it on the front or having it on the back or having it where your thumb's at, but it actually makes a little bit of sense if you just wrap your hand around it and put your finger on it. It works perfectly fine. And as you can see here, there we go. It actually works pretty well. So it's a decent enough fingerprint sensor. And it also has facial recognition technology as well. That actually works pretty well. It almost works better than the fingerprint sensor. So you're covered with biometrics. You've got all these different cameras on here. You can play some games on it. The biggest selling point to me for this phone though is the ruggedness, the IP68, the built-in MIL-STD drop protection. You don't have to put a case on it. It has a screen protector installed straight out of the box. So those are some of the big winning features for this phone. If you're looking to get a phone that is capable to like take out on a construction site, take out hiking, take camping, take pretty much wherever, and you don't have to worry about messing it up. You don't have to worry about aftermarket accessories because it's built like a tank. And then you've got the built-in screen protector already on it. So you're covered straight out of the box. It's got 33-watt charging. It comes with a 33-watt international charger, USB-C cable, so you can get recharged quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's got a 5,000 milliamp battery, which will last you for a pretty decent amount of time. It's not as power efficient as the Snapdragon 730, so don't expect to get like 2 days of battery life, but this should get you through the day, no problem. And again, it's mostly comparable in multitasking and single core speeds. It actually is a little bit slower than the Snapdragon 730G, but where it makes up for that is in the GPU department because it's significantly higher clock speed. And then on top of that as well, it has band 71 LTE. So this is great for T-Mobile, even here in the United States, 4G LTE. You don't have any issues there. So I think that they did a good job, like thoughtfully wise, putting a lot of features in here because you can use it pretty much on any GSM unlocked network. It's got the dual SIM capability. It's got SD card storage expandable to 256. I mean, I think they did a good job with this. This is the first time I've ever taken a look at an UMIDIGI phone before, and I've been using it for a couple of days. So this is not a full review. This is just a, hey, initial thoughts, impressions, taking a look at it and letting you guys know if you want to pick one up. They've got the 11th anniversary sale right now. If you're watching this later, the sale's probably not there, but I think that this company, I've looked around before and it seems like they drop their prices a lot to put things on sale to try and sell them. So you may have another opportunity later. Again, this is not a sales ad. That's all I've got for the UMIDIGI Bison GT. An upgrade over the last Bison phone. This one is definitely significantly improved in that department. And yeah, it's definitely an interesting phone that you don't see every day. And if this is something in your part of the world where this phone is a major brand, then this will hopefully be much more helpful for you. And you can get it from AliExpress or from the UMIDIGI website. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.